Good morning. It's 6:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Erin.
Oh, wow. I can't read with these on, can I?
Are those real eclipse glasses?
Yeah, they are.
Hang on to them. There's another one in 2024.
How come I can't see my copy through these?
Erin has local news up next.
Thousands of residents came out to take a look at the eclipse. We'll talk more about that. And then there was a record broken in town as a result. Mayor Ollie Tyler's unveiled some of her plans for the big sports complex.
The Ollie Dome, $100 million.
Wow.
Let me say that again. The Ollie Dome, $100 million price tag.
I'll put up $10.
And Fletcher and sports and traffic and weather all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly sunny today, seasonably hot with a high of 95 degrees, patchy clouds, and a low of 76 for tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Thousands of local residents came out to check out the solar eclipse. One hotspot was the Broadmoor Library. Branch manager Jennifer French tells KEEL News the viewing glasses were a hot commodity.
When we first got the glasses about a month ago, we really didn't think it was going to be this big. And just after the first day of announcing that we had them, we realized everybody in town was going to come here.
University Elementary broke a Guinness World Record by hosting the largest astronomy lesson ever. 1,334 students, staff, and parents covered the school grounds to watch and learn about the eclipse. The previous record was 1,109 people. More details have been released about Mayor Ollie Tyler's proposed sports complex for Cross Bayou. The project now totals about $100 million. The mayor wants to build a mixed-use development. She wants to get private investors in for about $75 million of that. She's presenting her plan to the city council now. The primary purpose for the facility would be to house the G League farm team of the New Orleans Pelicans. The whole deal hinges on Shreveport landing that team. Shreveport hopes to prevent future tragedies. Matt Parker explains.
Following the drowning death of 7-year-old Deshaun Combs, the city of Shreveport is working hard to prevent another tragedy. The Property Standards Committee is discussing ways to make the city's drainage system safer. Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch says that the city needs to make some structural changes and that citizens need to be better educated. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Minden man charged with kidnapping. Keyshawn Wilson arrested for allegedly kidnapping a 2.5-month-old infant. Police say Wilson was staying with the family of the child in Minden. According to reports, the baby was crying in the middle of the night, and officers believe that's what prompted Wilson to take the child. He left the infant underneath the Sibley exit bridge and then allegedly confessed his crime to a homeless man. Wilson's been charged with aggravated kidnapping. The child was found unharmed. Michael Tyler, best known as rapper Mystical, turns himself in to Shreveport police. Sergeant Paula Farquhar with SPD says Tyler, along with a 26-year-old Texas man, have been charged with first-degree rape. She says an investigation was launched into a sexual assault last year.
People that were with the victim notified the police at the time, back in October of 2016.
A 7-year-old boy won't face legal charges for shooting his aunt twice. According to Webster Sheriff Gary Sexton, the boy was mad his aunt didn't feed him. Sexton says the child grabbed a rifle, loaded it, and shot Amanda Gibson twice in the side. Gibson is expected to recover. Sexton says while the incident was not an accident, the law states a child of his age cannot form intent and cannot be charged with a crime. Shreveport Representative Thomas Carmody has no plan to bring back a bill seeking to protect Confederate monuments as the controversial statues are coming down across the South. Carmody says legislation is no longer necessary.
Because the rule of law will basically be ineffective for any of it. It'll all be down.
The firing of a high school principal who used a wooden dowel to break up a fight between students has been reversed by a Louisiana judge. The Advocate reports the ruling ordered the reinstatement of a principal at Scotlandville High who was fired 2 years ago. Lots of sunshine, hot today, 95 for the high, right now 76. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning. It's 9 past 6, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Time for Tuesday. Morning traffic. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-20 westbound's got it clear all the way to Dallas right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 eastbound near North Market due to construction. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Good morning. It's 11 past 6 o'clock. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Put the camera on Erin.
It is. It totally already is.
I don't understand why I can't see anything through these glasses.
Think of it as a metaphor for life.
This is really weird. If I look up, I can see you. How you doing over there? How you doing?
Why suddenly have you become Ellen Corby on the Waltons?
I don't know. How you doing over there? I can't see in my screen. I can't see my hand. I can't see my coffee stirrer.
Just leave those on all day.
Well, I have to read sometimes.
It's a good look.
Yeah, I can peek
For
up
us.
like this and read. Let's see. How's this look? Is this sexy?
Oh, my
gosh.
gosh.
Does this do it for me?
Holy yeah.
You think men are going to want all this now?
That's the one thing you've been missing this whole time.
Is this it?
Yeah,
This is the look?
Yeah, is eclipse glasses.
Wow.
The reason they are not chasing you down at the bar is
Yeah.
a lack of eclipse glasses.
Yo, how you doing, baby?
So tell me about your eclipse day yesterday, as you called it, E-Day.
E-Day was awesome. I went to the Broadmoor Library. I couldn't get out of there. It was so slammed. So I just hung out with Jennifer and a bunch of engineering type guys, and we shared glasses and we passed them around. It was just it was unbelievable.
Like you mean shot glasses or eclipse glasses?
No, eclipse glasses, because they didn't have enough. The Shreve Memorial Library branch guys told me they ordered about 1,000 glasses to divide up among all the libraries.
1,000?
And they ran out. I mean, they ran out weeks ago. Now, they had some of the libraries, like Broadmoor, held some back for yesterday's event. And so she had a stack of them for yesterday's event to pass out, but she was telling
so on
folks...
on the 1 to 10 party scale, where was Shreve Memorial Library? Because I saw on social media, a lot of drinking around 1 o'clock yesterday.
Well, there was no alcohol. It's a library. There were kids. But they had free water. They had free moon pies.
Oh, my God, moon pies.
Which, it's a solar eclipse day, moon pies. It's a great idea.
Makes perfect sense, yeah.
But I
wish I was there.
I do wish I had thought of, there was some genius who drove through the parking lot, and he was in an old model Suburban, rolled his windows down. He said, "Eclipse glasses, $20. Eclipse glasses, $20."
Right.
Apparently, he had a stack of them in his vehicle, and he was selling them to anybody who wanted their own pair. Now, I don't know if they were legit. I got the legit ones. These have the ISO marking on them, and
I'm sorry. Do you know?
I have no clue.
Okay.
ISO won't hurt your eyes. I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
What's the ISO abbreviate?
ISO won't hurt your eyes. I'm not sure.
So then what happened?
Then we all just passed, we kept looking up.
Yeah.
And what I don't get is, can you explain this to me?
Probably.
I'm not the science brain in the room.
No. Yes, you are.
When you looked up at the sun.
With the glasses on.
With them off.
Unlike the president.
You could see no moon all day. And I was going out all day looking for the moon. Like, where's the moon? Where's the moon? I could see no moon. The moon was gone. It was not there. Then all of a sudden, it's like Batman flashed a moon up there. When you put the glasses on, you see the moon covering up part of the sun.
Right.
And it looks like a little crescent moon is what it ended up looking like.
The sun did, but what is...
Exactly.
So what is your question?
My question is, where was the moon all day? Was it chilling?
You could not see it.
It was there was no clouds, so where's it hiding?
You could not see it because the sky is so bright because of the sun.
So the sun was hiding the moon.
No, yeah, sure, whatever.
Kinda?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
That's
then
that's
all
okay.
of a sudden, when the moon got in its path of the sun,
then you could see the moon.
Or
at least the shadow. Yes. Okay.
And then when this dang thing was over,
the moon left again.
You couldn't see the moon again. I'm like, where the heck did the moon go? It was here.
Wait 7 years for another one.
We have another one coming 7 years.
In 2024.
I know.
April either 6th or 8th of 2024. And that's what I find to be the most amazing thing. That there are scientists, there are people who have figured out the orbital path, or the path of the Earth and the moon and everything down to the exact... What? You're shaking your head.
Oh, no. I just was reflecting on Erin this entire morning so far up to this point, and it was just made me put my head in my hands.
I'm thinking I'm going to save these glasses. I'll just put them in my office. I'll never know they're there. 7 years from now, I'll go, wow, I got some solar glasses. Look at me. I'm a hot commodity.
April something, the first week of April of 2024.
Okay.
And Shreveport, Bossier City, the Arklatex is darned close to the, what did we call it? The tunnel of totality.
The tunnel of the
100% path. We could be in the path of a near total eclipse.
We're going to be hot to tot
in 2024. So tell me about what school was it set a Guinness record?
Yes, University Elementary. They set a Guinness record for the largest astronomy class. They had 1,330 plus kids and parents and all.
Actually, what happened was about 200 of them wandered out of the restricted official area. I'm being totally serious.
Really?
So they ended up breaking the record by about 3. And I'm being totally serious.
No, they were broken by about 200.
No, they had to change it. What I just told you is true. About 200 of those people that they wanted to count wandered out of the official area.
So they had to bring them back in?
No, they had to reduce their total by about 200.
I don't know where you're hearing that.
What if I find it? What's the bet?
Let's see.
It means she has to go back and redo all her news stories.
Yeah, I would. I would have to fix this.
You're right. I'm wrong. I'm going to
Okay.
save you the
They
trouble.
broke
Thank
a
you.
record. It's
Yeah,
all
they
right.
broke a record.
Good for them, however many the heck of you there were. 18 past 6 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. When we come back, who would have known that the Ollie Dome was going to now cost $100 million?
Yeah.
$100 million.
How did it go from 25 to 100?
She never said it was going to cost $25 million. She said it was going to cost the city $25 million.
You got a point.
So my question is, look, we'll go to break, talk about it when we'll come back.
Okay.
A couple of great quotes from sports figures, writers across the city about do we need a $100 million arena?
They're blowing up my Facebook. There's a poll, too, on our website, keelnews.com.
$75 million of this arena will be privately financed.
10 of it's mine.
10 what?
Dollars. Not 10 million.
Even if you win the lottery.
No, I'm not giving the government any of my money.
The
Sorry.
McCarty Dome.
Ooh.
19 past 6, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here comes traffic for Tuesday morning. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-49 northbound near Kings Highway. If you know something we don't, accidents, hazards, or closures, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Good morning. It's 20 past 6. Keel Sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler will present a plan to build a $100 million multi-purpose mixed-use complex at today's City Council meeting. The plan indicates construction to take place along the Cross Bayou Corridor on the northern side of the downtown area. Mayor Tyler is expected to ask the council for approval of up to $30 million toward the project, with private financing providing the remainder of the funding. Shreveport is also one of two finalists for the New Orleans Pelicans minor league team, along with Pensacola. Down to the wire they go, I guess. The Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. Adrian Beltrade clobbered a 3-run home run in the third inning to fuel the offense. Texas is 2 games out of the wild card with 38 games remaining. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
One more little eclipse note. I'm going to show you a headline, and we'll cover this later this hour.
Okay.
Read that headline from where you are.
Law school professor pens essay explaining how eclipse is racist.
Yeah.
Holy cannolis.
Yep.
Seriously?
Read it. I'm not making this up.
The eclipse
This is
racist.
legit. Yeah.
How's the eclipse racist?
I'll tell you later this hour.
Oh, my
But evidently it
gosh.
is. 23 past 6, 1017 FM 710 Keel. We are streaming on the Keel Facebook page. Video is live, and the camera will be exclusively on Erin this morning, all morning long. It's good for all of us.
You want the sexy look again?
Good for all of us.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's hot.
Whoa, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, baby, want to buy me a drink?
I don't know. I am a loss for words.
I like prune juice.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Prune juice and vodka. That's nice.
Oh, Lord.
That's Aretha Franklin's drink, isn't it?
So it is now. So Mayor Ollie goes to the city council yesterday. What can you tell me?
She sent an email out to all the media, etc. She has submitted her plans.
Well, did she go in person to them yesterday?
Oh, yeah,
or
she
did
goes to
just-
all of the work sessions.
Does she?
Yeah, and she goes to all the city council meetings, too. But she will officially today, 3 o'clock, unveil everything about the plan.
A $100 million sports complex for downtown Shreveport.
Yeah, don't call it an arena. She'll get upset. It's a
So?
sports complex.
Okay.
I know.
So tell me more about this arena.
It would be home to the NBA G League Pelican team.
Right. Yeah.
We're one of 2 finalists to get that team. And they want an arena for the team to play in. It would also be a sports complex that would include
Now, this will seat about 3,000 people.
3,200 people. Yeah.
So do we expect that there are 3,000 people who are going to go, and it's a 50-game season, so that's 25 home games. Mm-hmm. The playoffs in the G League consist of 3 best-of-3 series. So the highest number of playoff games you'll have is 6. So we're talking 25, 31 home games max. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's a lot of empty weekends.
Well, here's what she adds. The activity could include local, state, and regional basketball, volleyball, tennis, gymnastics, boxing, cheer competitions, and lacrosse tournaments, just to name a few. That's what the mayor's working on. She's working on a proposal to get those groups to agree that we're going to hold our events here.
Has CenturyLink Center, I guess they effectively have taken themselves out of the running for all of those things.
I mean, they've hosted some of those things before. I mean, they've hosted the big wrestling championships. They've hosted other events.
So Shreveport is going to compete against the CenturyLink Center in Bossier. They will be competing for the same events. Although one must admit the CenturyLink Center doesn't live or die on high school wrestling.
No, it does not. Now, you're also going to have a lot of, like, the cheer competitions. Some of those have been held at the convention center. So you would just be moving them to a different venue.
So now you're competing against yourself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
but to be honest with you,
hang on a second.
wait, let me finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
To be honest with you, to host a cheer competition or something like that, the convention center is way more expensive. I would assume this would be a much cheaper venue. Thereby, you could have more events.
But you're cutting yourself. But you're competing.
No, but you could have more, is what I'm saying.
Okay, but what I'm saying is you're competing against yourself for the
You
same
bet.
event. Why would you do that?
Because then that opens up the convention center for something else, something bigger.
The Starbucks theory. Why would you put a Starbucks across the street from Starbucks?
It's working for Starbucks.
No, it's not. They're closing right and left.
Well, they're going to try it and see. We'll see. It all hinges, though. Make this real clear. It hinges on us getting the Pelicans team. If we don't, this all goes away.
So there's no other place in Shreveport or Bossier City. Well, Shreveport, because that's what we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other place where this team could play, or that is suitable according to the league or according to us.
I don't know.
I mean,
could you get Hirsch ready for this? I don't know.
Conflicting dates with the Mudbugs.
Would people go to the Hirsch? I don't know.
They played basketball. What is it? Riverview Hall and other stuff downtown.
They have. I'm not sure, and then that may not be attractive to the Pelicans.
Yeah,
they might say we want a nice, up to date, modern venue, and that's what you're going to have to do.
Evidently, Shreveport is telling them that we will build you a nice, up-to-date, modern venue.
You bet.
That we don't have any place right now worth playing in.
But if you choose us, here's what we'll do for you.
Here's what we'll do. Mm-hmm. Assuming this is like this, I'm not going to say a game of chicken, but somebody's got to commit first.
Well, we're committing.
So,
if the city council does, I mean, that's up to them, because this would be a bond issue.
Who? Well, for $30 million.
For $30 million.
So, who are the private sponsors? Who is it that's going to put up $70 million?
That's a really good
but
question.
just for an arena.
That's
Nothing
really
else. We don't have street lights. The police need stuff. We have potholes in the streets.
Here's my message to city leaders. Okay?
Could whoever wants, look, of all the things we need, is if you had $70 million, if right now somebody dropped a $70 million check on City Hall, would you take that money and build an arena? Would that be priority number one?
No, it would not. But I would hearken back to the 80s when we built Fairgrounds Field. It was a massive bond issue. People approved it. We brought in the captains.
Right.
They had a pretty good run. They had a lot of
very
great
successful
years. A lot of great years. But with time, it went away. And now we have a bat haven for Fairgrounds Field. And I don't mean baseball bats. I mean bats. Is that something 20 years from now we want to look back and go, man, did that bring in what we really thought it would? Did it work for us? Did it help our city? Or do we now have an eyesore on Cross Bayou that we're having to maintain or try to dump on someone?
29 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update coming up right now. Here's Ruben on Keel.
Looks like I-20 westbound's got it clear all the way to Dallas right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 eastbound near North Market due to construction. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly sunny today, seasonably hot with a high of 95 degrees, patchy clouds, and a low of 76 for tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Mayor Ollie Tyler has unveiled details of her proposed $100 million sports complex she wants to build at Cross Bayou. She submitted the plan to the NBA Pelicans several weeks ago. The mayor wants to push for a $30 million bond issue. The rest of the money would come from private partners. Shreveport's one of two finalists for the G League farm team of the Pelicans. Thousands of local residents ventured outside to take a peek at the solar eclipse. Hundreds were at the Broadmoor Library.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Yeah, it's cool.
University Elementary broke a Guinness World Record by hosting the largest astronomy lesson ever. 1,334 students, staff, and parents covered the school grounds to watch and learn about the eclipse. The previous record was 1,109 people. Following the drowning death of 7-year-old Deshaun Combest, the city of Shreveport's working hard to prevent another tragedy. The Property Standards Committee is discussing ways to make the city's drainage system safer. Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch says the city needs to make some structural changes and that citizens need to be better educated. Child shoots his aunt over food. Matt Parker with that.
A 7-year-old boy will not face legal charges for shooting his aunt twice on Friday. According to Webster Parish Sheriff Gary Sexton, the boy was mad his aunt didn't feed him. Sexton says the child grabbed a rifle, loaded it, and shot Amanda Gibson twice in the side. Gibson is expected to make a full recovery. Sexton says that while the incident wasn't an accident, the law states a child of his age can't form intent and can't be charged with a crime. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A Minden man charged with kidnapping, Keyshawn Wilson, arrested for allegedly kidnapping a 2.5-month-old infant. Police say Wilson was staying with the family of the child in Minden. According to reports, the baby was crying in the middle of the night, and officers believe that's what prompted Wilson to take the child. Wilson left the infant underneath the Sibley exit bridge and then allegedly confessed his crime to a homeless man. He's been charged with aggravated kidnapping. Authorities say 33 people have been hurt in a train crash at a station in suburban Philadelphia. Spokeswoman for the Southeastern Penn Transit Authority says it happened around 12:15 this morning. Heather Redfern says an inbound Norristown high-speed line crashed into an unoccupied parked train. President Donald Trump declaring that U.S. troops will fight to win the long war in Afghanistan. He pointedly declined to disclose how many more U.S. troops will be sent. An announcement could come as early as today on who will be the Tigers' starting quarterback for the season opener against BYU. Senior Danny Etling is expected to get the nod, but offensive coordinator Matt Canada likes what he's seen from freshman Miles Brennan.
We want to spread the ball around between our wide receivers, our tight ends, and our running backs equally. We have some running backs that can catch the ball, and as a defensive coach, I know that when you have some running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield, it's another dimension that you have to defend. So we want to be able to do that, and we are doing it.
The Tigers open the season against Brigham Young on September 2nd in Houston. Lots of sunshine today with the high temp 95 degrees. Right now, 77. I'm Erin McCarty from 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning, 635. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. The KEEL Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. I had a little moment, so to speak, that I neglected to tell you guys about at GeekCon this weekend. And it was, well, here's what happened. At one point, all of the celebrities, all of our guests, Lou Ferrigno and Joey Fatone, and Sam J. Jones, and Billy West, and
Hacksaw,
Jim Duggan were all on break. So, as were the people who were kind of watching them, the handlers who all work for us.
Yeah.
In fact, you spent 2 days with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
So, I was kind of doing nothing at the time, and somebody said, would you just kind of keep an eye on all the tables because there was money at those tables? And I sat down at the Billy West table, and I'm looking around, there's nobody there. I mean, there's nobody 20 feet either side of me. And I'm sitting there, and a couple of minutes goes by, and this lady comes up, and she says, I can't believe you're here. And I said, yes, ma'am.
What?
She says, I can't, about 40 years old. She says, I can't believe you're here. And I said, yeah, well, we're kind of all here, this weekend, just kind of working, helping out, doing stuff. She says, but I'm such a fan. And this is incredible that you're here. And I said, well, I'll be here until about 2. And she said, she looks over, she goes, well, where's everybody else? I said, well, everybody will be back a little bit later. She says, well, she says, are you from here? I said, yeah, well, I'm a Shreveport guy now. I've lived here for 20 years, originally from East Texas, etc. And she just goes, I mean, like 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, God.
2 or 3 minutes of gushing about how awesome I am. And about that time, I'm going, well, I appreciate everything you're saying. Well, about that time, her friend walks up, and she turns to her and says, look, who would have? Billy West is here.
OMG. OMG.
Don't feel bad. I had a similar experience. You know, I was hanging out with ODB, the female wrestler, and she wanted to, take a little break. And I kid you not, in all seriousness, about this guy walks over, looks at me, looks at her pictures, looks at me, looks at the pictures, and goes, "You look a lot different than you do on TV."
Somehow,
they mistook me for Hacksaw, too. They mistook me for Hacksaw a couple of times.
hands are the same size. 638, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update is up next. And if you enjoyed the eclipse, you are racist. You are a white supremacist. You are a borderline Nazi. And I ain't making this up. That's coming up next on Keel.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
.117 FM and 710 Keel. Time for traffic. Ruben's here.
Looks like I-20 westbound's got it clear all the way to Dallas right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 eastbound near North Market due to construction. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687.
Okay, so the show's back on. Do you still want the camera off you?
You can put it back on me now.
Okay, so here's the deal. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Erin is having breakfast right now.
Yeah.
And so she says to Matt, as she's kind of wolfing down the le bun de honey, Matt, take the camera off because I don't want to eat on camera.
I'm chowing down, yeah.
So the point I'm making here is you are sitting there with
I forget that I have these on.
With eclipse glasses tilted back on your head.
I think these are kind of sexy.
Tilted back on your... The point is that of all the things you should be worried about...
Yeah.
I'm not sure that people seeing you eat a honey bun is what might make you look the most ridiculous.
This does not look ridiculous.
No, you look like Stevie Wonder.
This looks very hot. You know this looks sexy.
Huh?
Truth be known,
hey,
this looks sexy.
Maybe I'm missing something.
There's someone out there for everybody. Isn't that what they always say?
Okay, here's the official. This is from the Times.
Okay.
School officials. This is, tell me about the record again.
1,300 and what's the official number? Let me see.
No. 34.
That's according to one news source. Two other news sources have our number. So
here's the latest.
Depends on who you believe.
School officials originally reported that 1,334 students, faculty, and community members participated in the largest astronomy lesson ever recorded, taught by University Elementary Science teacher Charles Moser. But attendees accidentally moved out of their designated viewing areas and had to be discounted from the final total for the Guinness record. The school will officially report 1,110 science students participating, which defeated the previous record of 1,108. That, according to Principal Casey Manero.
Okay, I'll get Casey on the phone. We'll figure out what's the deal, because there are other reports saying they had the 1,300.
Read the headline. Read the headline.
Law school professor. I can't see it.
Oh, I'm
Now,
sorry. I moved it.
You got to keep it up for me to read it.
Words to live by.
Law school professor. Law school professor pens essay explaining how eclipse is racist.
Okay. Did you enjoy Did a number of your friends enjoy the eclipse yesterday?
Loved it.
Racist.
Loved it.
Bigot.
Come on now.
You're a Nazi. You're a white supremacist.
Come on.
Remember now, you don't get to define
how.
You don't.
What makes me racist for enjoying the solar eclipse?
Let's set the stage.
That was solar, not lunar, right?
Let's set the stage. You don't get to decide if you're racist or not, any more than anyone else. If someone deems you to be or accuses you to be, this is the Salem witch hunt. This is Arthur Miller's The Crucible. This is McCarthy stuff all over again.
What idiot is saying this today?
If you are accused, you are automatically guilty. Haven't you been watching the news the last 10 days? If you enjoyed Monday's solar eclipse, you are a racist. That, according to Brooklyn Law School professor Alice Ristroff, who used a staggering 4,544 words in The Atlantic explaining why the phenomenon of the moon blocking the sun is not diverse enough. Here's what she writes. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
On August 21st, 2017, this was written before the eclipse. Pardon my misuse of tense.
Okay.
On August 21, 2017, a solar eclipse will arrive mid-morning on the coast of Oregon. The moon's shadow will be about 70 miles wide, and it will race across the country faster than the speed of sound, exiting the eastern seaboard shortly before 3 p.m. It has been dubbed the Great American Eclipse, and along most of its path, there live almost no black people.
Wow. So the sun is racist.
If you enjoy the eclipse, you're a white supremacist.
No, the sun is racist because the sun did this.
Let me continue. Among the problematic exclusions, Oregon, a blue state, however, previously having, quote, a provision in the original state constitution of 1857 that prohibits any free Negro or mulatto from entering and residing in the state. Oregon, racist. Wyoming and Idaho, she writes, which don't have many minorities at all, and most of those are Latino, American Indian, and Alaskan. Rural Illinois, where the KKK used to be very active. Leavenworth, Kansas, where the percentage of blacks among all federal prisoners is close to 40%. Missouri, home of the Missouri Compromise. And then the Deep South. Well, do you really have to ask?
That is so ridiculous.
Thoughts?
That is one of the most ridiculous things
you
have ever brought to this table.
But is it any more ridiculous?
They're all ridiculous.
But is it any more ridiculous than anybody? Look, what did we have yesterday about Colin Kaepernick? Right now, the media zeitgeist, the media culture, the overwhelming left-wing mainstream media thought is that if you don't think that Colin Kaepernick isn't playing for an NFL team because they're all racist, that makes you a racist.
Oh,
if you don't think that Colin Kaepernick is the victim of racism, that makes you a racist.
Wow.
Right now, if you have any argument at all that the Confederate monuments should stay for whatever reason, that makes you a Nazi and a white supremacist. If you believe that Antifa isn't standing up, I need to talk to you about that too.
Yeah.
The meme that was on Facebook And it had the photograph. I showed this to Erin, and pardon me, she got pissed off. I showed her, there was a Facebook meme last week, and it was a photo of World War II American soldiers in a landing craft on D-Day. And the caption was, "These men didn't need a permit to fight fascism." Well, no, they had a declaration of war, but that's for another time. But the point is to equate Antifa, who showed up with clubs and their faces were covered, etc., to liken them to men like your father.
To World War II soldiers. Oh, boy. That ticked me off. That still makes my blood boil.
You know who I thought about when I saw that? I thought about David Tom's grandfather, Tom, Ed, who at the age of 19 or 20 was a tank commander for Patton in Europe and was risking his life in World War II. And he was at the Battle of the Bulge. He was at Bastogne. And that was originally who I thought about when I saw that. And I thought, you dare. I've got some Antifa stuff from a Boston Antifa webpage to read to you when we come back from the break. And it will underline for you who they say they are. 649, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's traffic. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-49 northbound near Kings Highway. If you know something we don't, accidents, hazards, or closures, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly sunny today, seasonably hot with a high of 95 degrees, patchy clouds, and a low of 76 for tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
1017 FM and 710 KEEL. Our KEEL Poll of the Week. Find it online at KEELnews.com. KEELnews.com.
Big 52 Sports on KEEL.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler will present a plan to build a $100 million multi-purpose mixed-use complex at today's City Council meeting. The plan indicates construction to take place along the Cross Bayou Corridor on the northern side of the downtown area. Mayor Tyler is expected to ask the council for approval of up to $30 million toward the project, with private financing providing the remainder of the funding. Shreveport is also one of two finalists for the New Orleans Pelicans minor league team, along with Pensacola Down to the wire they go, I guess. The Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. Adrian Beltrade clobbered a 3-run home run in the third inning to fuel the offense. Texas is 2 games out of the wild card with 38 games remaining. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Those glasses are awesome.
I dance better with them on, too.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, if you'd like to see Erin with her Eclipse glasses, which, you know, everybody gave theirs back.
No.
You hung on to yours.
Yeah, what'd they cost, 39 cents?
I have no idea.
I'm going to keep them 7 years. I'm going to need them again.
2024. We are close to the tunnel of totality for the next solar eclipse in April of 2024.
I did try the cracker thing. Didn't work too well for me. I kept eating the crackers.
We'll explain what we mean by that. Okay. We were talking about Antifa.
Yeah.
And how they are being praised and lauded and hoisted up on the shoulders of the mainstream media as these brave young men and women who are fighting fascism. According to the Facebook page of Boston Antifa, quote, "There is no room for capitalists, conservatives, libertarians, classical liberals, or supporters of the U.S. Constitution. You must leave. Hashtag Boston Resist." Then on their Twitter page, let's get one thing clear. Antifa is an anarchist communist cause. Those on the left who refer to us as patriots, step the F away.
Wow. Man.
Sound to you like a bunch of people who have America's best interests at heart?
Yeah, boy.
Hang on a second. Fox News on the way, and the Ollie Dome could cost
Yankee Doodle Dandies.
Ollie Dome could cost $100 million. Shreveport's going to float 30. Who's going to put up the other 70?
The O-Dome. I like it.
We will investigate right now. Rush on Keel.
California drivers already pay higher taxes than almost anybody else in the country, and they're going to get hit again. Democrats in California plan to spend $52 billion on roads and infrastructure. And to pay for it, the Democrats in the legislature and the governor, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to raise taxes. 12 cents per gallon on gasoline, on top of what people are paying now. Diesel drivers, 20 cents per gallon. And if you drive an electric car to save the planet, guess what? You get hit with a $100 fee as your clean energy contribution. Other California voters are going to find out about other fees when you get walloped with them. The few Republicans left in the state, they're objecting, but they have no political power, so they may as well go out and play golf. They can't stop it. The unions, the construction industry, who are going to build all this new infrastructure, they're in bed with the Democrats. They're beside themselves with glee. They're going to hit the jackpot once this thing passes, which it will because it's a one-party state. Now, all of these higher taxes are going to hurt business, hurt low-income families, increase the cost of goods and services. People's standard of living is going to plummet. Nothing's new. It's California. You keep electing liberals, and higher taxes and a lower standard of living is just the way of life.
See, the most memorable part of the Oscars for me was a bunch of really rich white people with walls around their mansions telling me that we shouldn't have a border for our country.
You got a point.
Should anybody get to come to the USA anytime, no border, stay as long as you want,
no,
take advantage of our education, health care, and entitlement program.
Must have vetting.
Start your day with Robert and Erin in the morning. 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
Keeping an eye on some slow-moving traffic on Greenwood Road and Hearn Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly sunny today, seasonably hot with a high of 95 degrees, patchy clouds, and a low of 76 for tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Right now, 73. It's 1017 FM 710 KEEL. Fox News just ahead after 7 o'clock. More on the $100 million proposed sports arena for downtown Shreveport. That's up next.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
It is 7:03, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin. Lots of news, lots of local stuff. Erin's next.
So how did E-Day go? We'll talk more about that. The mayor's plans for a sports complex along Cross Bayou. We'll take a closer look at that. And State Rep Thomas Carmody is backing off his Confederate monument bill.
State Senator Neil Reiser is a state senator and candidate for state treasurer of Louisiana in the special election coming up in mid-October. He's going to join us in just about 10 minutes and tell us what the heck he wants to be in charge of all the money for. Plus, Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather, and it's coming up this hour right here on Keel.
The Keel Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
Thousands of local residents came out to check out the solar eclipse. One hotspot was the Broadmoor Library.
God, that is something. It's only half the sun. It looked like it did on TV.
University Elementary broke a Guinness World Record by hosting the largest astronomy lesson ever. The previous record was 1,109 people. Mayor Ollie Tyler's unveiled details of more than $100 million mixed-use development destined to be located along the Cross Bayou corridor. Her plan was submitted to the NBA Pelican Group several weeks ago. The proposed Shreveport Sports Complex would be a public-private partnership with more than 75% of the money coming from private companies. Shreveport's been named one of the two finalists for the NBA's New Orleans Pelicans G League team. You can take our poll online right now at KEELnews.com. Shreveport Representative Thomas Carmody has no plan to bring back a bill seeking to protect Confederate monuments as the controversial statues are coming down across the South. Carmody says he will not bring up future legislation on the topic. We should respect others' views.
I pray that there's some peace and tranquility that comes out of everything that seems to be going on right now in our country, and that it's strange days indeed.
Carmody says legislation is no longer necessary. Shreveport hopes to prevent future tragedies. Following the drowning death of 7-year-old Deshaun Combest, the city of Shreveport is working hard to prevent another tragedy. Property Standards Committee is discussing ways to make our drainage systems safer. A 7-year-old boy will not face legal charges for shooting his aunt twice. According to Webster Sheriff Gary Sexton, the boy was mad that his aunt didn't feed him. Sexton says the child grabbed a rifle, loaded it, and shot Amanda Gibson twice. Gibson is expected to recover. Sexton says while the incident was not an accident, the law states a child of his age cannot form intent, therefore cannot be charged with a crime. A Minden man is charged with kidnapping. Matt Parker with that.
Keyshawn Wilson has been arrested for allegedly kidnapping a 2.5-month-old infant. Police say Wilson was staying with the family of the child in Minden. According to reports, the baby was crying in the middle of the night, and officers believe that's what prompted Wilson to take the child. Wilson left the infant underneath the Sibley Exit Bridge and then allegedly confessed his crime to a homeless man. Wilson has been charged with aggravated kidnapping. The child was found unharmed. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Michael Tyler, better known as rapper Mystical, has turned himself in to Shreveport police. Sergeant Paula Farquhar with SPD says Tyler, along with a 26-year-old Texas man, have been charged with first-degree rape. She says it's not smart to make judgments about the case just yet.
I wouldn't go so far as to make assumptions about Mr. Tyler's character or anything like that. I mean, I don't know him. What we do caution people about is rape culture. They are quick to make assumptions about the victim.
She says an investigation was launched into a sexual assault last year. The U.S. 7th Fleet says Navy and Marine Corps divers have joined the search for 10 missing sailors and will access flooded compartments on the USS John McCain, which was damaged in a collision with an oil tanker. Aircraft and ships from the U.S., Singapore, and Malaysian navies will continue searching the waters east of Singapore where the collision occurred. Lots of sunshine, hot today, 95. Right now it's 77. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Arklatex foot and ankle specialist.
Nine past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben, traffic time.
Keeping an eye on some slow-moving traffic on Greenwood Road and Hearn Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Good morning. It's 12 past 7 o'clock. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Let's see. The Shreveport Security Systems, a lot of things popping around in the head today. Lots to talk about this hour. Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, from the thriving metropolis of Columbia, Louisiana. Hey, Mr. Neil, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good this morning. How about yourself?
Neil Reiser, Republican candidate for the office of State Treasurer, and you are in town a little bit later. Is it today? Well, Centenary this evening. Have I got that right?
That's correct. A lunch and then a dinner also later this afternoon.
Neil, what's your reason for running for State Treasurer? I mean, this is kind of an open seat now that John Kennedy's in the U.S. Senate. Your reason for wanting this job?
Well, that's actually a good question. And the reason that I'm wanting this job is the job that I feel like I'm uniquely qualified at, just with my resume. And that being 32 years of self-employed, in addition to that, 24 years of banking experience. I'm associated with was a small bank, Caldwell Bank and Trust in Caldwell Parish, and we expanded it out. Started a relatively small bank and grew up from there. My legislative experience has been, I spent 10 years on revenue and fiscal affairs, and 4 of those years I've chaired those. During that time, I was a member of Bond Commission for 4 years, which the next treasurer will chair. Treasurer Kennedy, now Senator Kennedy, chaired that committee during that time.
Let me ask you this, Neil. There are some that say that the state treasurer's job should be eliminated. You've heard that talk. There's some that, have said they'd even run to do away with the job. Do we need a state treasurer, and why?
Well, I would disagree with that, and just on the separations of the power inside the government. I mean, do you really want the administration, whichever administration that might be, to be over the checkbook and all the monies that put together? So I would have a different opinion than that. That needs to be an independent person that's over that, and independent treasurer's office within itself. That's our banking account. That's our checking account we have there. We need the state banker over there tending that business. And it's not a glamorous job. It's a job of a skill set and experience.
Senator Kennedy found himself as treasurer, at least publicly, at odds with the Edwards administration. You, as a state senator currently, do you see yourself as being as upfront and outwardly an opponent of the current administration as was Mr. John?
Number one, John Kennedy did a great job being a spokesperson. As some use the terminology used in the watchdog. Once again, if you go back and look at my voting record, and you'll go back through and see that where I have already stood my ground, that's actually on a vote. So whether it be on the sales tax that we had recently, or whether it be on the taxing of your health insurance policy, which I was also only no vote on that. We've had various different bills that we could go through that pointed out my position where I've already taken a stand.
The race is going to pit one Democrat against a few Republicans. Mm-hmm. Are you anticipating a runoff in this election?
It's with I just to answer your question. Yes, I do anticipate a runoff. Orleans has will have the largest turnout, probably just the simple fact that they have the mayor's race. And I heard Tom Shedler give a great presentation just 2 or 3 weeks ago about how low voter turnout's getting now. So if there's not anything actively going on in some of the different parishes, a lot of people just are not voting. He's saying that's a lot maybe because of voter fatigue. We have so many voters, so many elections just over and over again. But it's going to be voter turnout's going to be real tricky to this, and it's going to be the key.
Mr. Neil, we hear it over and over again and again from John Bell and other Dems in Baton Rouge. Fiscal cliff. Oh, my God, there's another fiscal cliff. What do you think about that? What is your opinion on the governor's continued use of that term? Do you think it's real? What is your stance?
Well, when you've done the Medicaid expansion and when you've had different federal programs you end up with more cost. Now, I go back to my voting record and go back as far as actually going and cutting. Let's go in and cut everything we can first. A perfect example of that is showing once again that I've actually done that. What used to be the Louisiana Housing Finance Authority, they wanted like 36 different agencies. A few years back, I went in and put them all in one. And now that's Louisiana Housing Corporation. So I think that we can be more effective and efficient, effective doing things right and efficient doing the right thing. So, I like to see us do that, and I'm not convinced that we've gone through all the agencies and and have gotten us down to where we need to be.
Let me ask you this, Neil. This is something I know you're watching and will have to watch if you're elected. Louisiana's credit rating has been downgraded by all the major financial gurus. What is Neil Reiser going to do to improve Louisiana's credit rating?
Form stability. So that when they're looking at the bond rating, what they're looking for is stability. When just like you'd be looking at any one of you had a bank loan, or I have a bank loan, they're looking at my economic stability, whether it's up or down, or my revenues, whether I'm living within my means, and that I don't have these great fluctuations, or that I'm guessing whether I'm going to have income back and forth. On these bond ratings that we have bonds, they want to know, are we going to pay them? Is our revenue, is our income steady? Is it up and down? But right now, we continue to be all over the place. Now, when you make the decision, if you go through and you cut everything you can cut, and whatever measures from there, but the instability is what causes that bond rating to go up and down.
Neil Reiser, candidate for state treasurer. Look forward to meeting you later today. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update coming up right now. Here's Ruben, and he's on KEEL.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Good morning. It's 21 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's sports. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler will present a plan to build a $100 million multi-purpose mixed-use complex at today's City Council meeting. The plan indicates construction to take place along the Cross Bayou Corridor on the northern side of the downtown area. Mayor Tyler is expected to ask the council for approval of up to $30 million toward the project, with private financing providing the remainder of the funding. Shreveport is also one of two finalists for the New Orleans Pelicans minor league team, along with Pensacola. Down to the wire they go, I guess. The Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. Adrian Beltre clobbered a 3-run home run in the third inning to fuel the offense. Texas is 2 games out of the wild card with 38 games remaining. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Don't forget you can download the Keel app. It's free and presented by Office Furniture Source. Wow. The law is the law. And you see there on the courthouse, and justice is blind, and the scales, and I guess the scales apply even to 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
If you guys, this is one, run the story by us again.
It really is a struggling story. It's a 7-year-old child who apparently shot his aunt twice because she wasn't feeding him. It's a Webster Parish case.
How do you think that is phrased that way? That she wasn't feeding him. Do you infer from that like the kid hadn't eaten in days? How's about maybe he wanted a snack?
Yeah, that's the way I took it.
Yeah, maybe he wanted some Doritos. I don't know.
That's the whole point. Well, baby, you just had Doritos an hour ago. You just had Oreo. I'm thinking about visiting my nanny. You know? You guys had cookies? No, you just had Doritos an hour ago.
Yeah.
But I really want cookies. So please proceed.
So the youngster, this is what's amazing to me. The youngster grabbed a rifle, loaded it, and shot his aunt, Amanda Gibson, twice in the side. Now, she's expected to make a full recovery, but the sheriff, Gary Sexton, says while it was not an accident, he did it on purpose. The law states a child of his age cannot form intent and therefore can't be charged with a crime. Which I agree with that law.
I go ahead.
And we just didn't have time when I wrote it up this morning. It was also in there that the kid has a history of some of issues and was in counseling. And
you think he's in counseling before?
You can't put a 7-year-old on trial.
No, I certainly understand that.
You have to get the kid help, though. I mean, you have to make sure the kid can
I make the doesn't know reality case? Can't tell reality from fantasy? Too many video games?
That could be.
I don't know.
That could be.
But a 7-year-old child, in a peak of anger, went and got a gun, loaded it, and shot his aunt twice. Now, what is her physical condition? Is she's expected to recover?
Yes, expected to make a full recovery. She was shot in the side, so I don't think any huge vital organs were hit. So
yeah, and she must have been at least not too badly wounded, because when officers were talking to her, she originally told them it was an accident, even though the child reloaded. Shot once, reloaded, and then shot again.
What troubles me about this is, how does a 7-year-old know how to load a rifle and then reload a rifle?
There's a lot of dads that take their 7 and 8, 10-year-old kids hunting.
Yeah,
so
but I don't think they let their 7-year-olds load the rifle.
I
bet you would learn at 7. You would learn how to load a rifle.
Absolutely. But
OMG.
Wait a second, gun control lady. What do you mean, OMG? That is not uncommon. But what is uncommon...
At 7?
But what is uncommon is that a child, even at the age of 7, would have no... Look, can you imagine yourself or one of your children at the age of 7 shooting you? Can you imagine you at the... Why?
No, they would never put a gun on me. They would never put a gun on someone else.
Because they
would know there were consequences. They could harm someone. You could kill someone.
So this is one of two things. Either the kid is, and look, obviously there's going to be a lot of psychiatric intervention.
Yeah.
But at some point, it's either A, he got really mad, and even at the age of 7 was really mad, or B, he doesn't have a sense of what violence really is.
Right. It's mystifying to me. It really is. At age 7. A, that you have a rifle that the kid can get to. B, those should be locked up, folks.
The Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. What do you think about that? What do you think? We will cover this and read your texts throughout the morning. 318 392-1884. Erin has local news just a couple of seconds away, 728. Yes.
Also, City Councilman James Fleury is going to join us after 7:30. We're going to talk about the Arena.
The Ollie. Actually, you know, they call the Orlando Arena in Orlando.
So we can't take that?
No, I like the Ollie. The O-Dome.
The O-Dome is good.
The O-Dome.
Yeah.
28 after 7 o'clock. Traffic and weather and Erin local news up next on KEEL. Nine past 7 o'clock. Time for traffic. Ruben's here on KEEL.
The intersection of Uri Drive and Southfield Roads dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Kings Highway and Line Avenue. If you know something we don't, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Thousands of local residents came out to check out the solar eclipse. One hotspot was the Broadmoor Library, where about 500 people showed up. A local school eclipses the record. Matt Parker with that.
Record by hosting the largest astronomy lesson ever. 1,334 students, staff, and parents covered the school grounds to watch and learn about the solar eclipse. The previous record was 1,109 people. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
More details have been released about Mayor Ollie Tyler's proposed sports complex for Cross Bayou. The project now totals about $100 million. She wants to build a mixed-use development. The mayor wants to get private investors for about $75 million. She's presenting her plan to the city council. The primary purpose for the facility would be to house the G League farm team of the New Orleans Pelicans. The whole deal hinges on Shreveport landing that team. Following the drowning death of 7-year-old Deshaun Combest, the city of Shreveport working hard to prevent another similar tragedy. The Property Standards Committee is talking about ways to make the city's drainage system safer. Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch says the city needs to make some structural changes and that citizens need to be better educated. A child shoots his aunt over food. 7-year-old boy won't face legal charges for shooting his aunt twice. According to Webster Sheriff Gary Sexton, the boy was mad his aunt didn't feed him. Sexton says the child grabbed a rifle, loaded it, and shot Amanda Gibson twice in the side. She is expected to recover. Sexton says while the incident was not an accident, the law states a child of his age cannot form intent and can't be charged with a crime. Minden man charged with kidnapping. Keyshawn Wilson arrested for allegedly kidnapping a 2.5-month-old infant. Police say Wilson was staying with the family of the child in Minden. According to reports, the baby was crying in the middle of the night, and officers believe that's what prompted Wilson to take the child. He left the baby underneath the Sibley exit bridge and then allegedly confessed his crime to a homeless man. Wilson has been charged with aggravated kidnapping. The child was found unharmed. Shreveport Representative Thomas Carmody has no plan to bring back a bill seeking to protect Confederate monuments. 4 Confederate monuments were removed in New Orleans last April and May. Carmody tried to pass a proposed law during the legislative session to require a public vote before a military monument could be taken down. It passed on the House but died in the Senate committee. When asked if he would bring it back next year, Carmody said,
I'm not sure that there'd be anything left to protect.
Caddo Parish still has a monument on the courthouse grounds. The Caddo Commission has yet to act on that item. Michael Tyler, better known as rapper Mystical, turned himself in to Shreveport police after a warrant for his arrest was issued. Sergeant Paula Farquhar with SPD says Tyler, along with 26-year-old Texas man, have been charged with first-degree rape. A $20 million annual federal grant has been awarded to the State Department of Education to help struggling public schools. Assistant Superintendent Kunyan Nartria says schools over the next few weeks will apply for the money, and those with the best plans for progress will get the funds.
Districts themselves are going to be building these plans along with any nonprofit partners or university partners, and the department will evaluate and grant money to the strongest of the plans that get submitted.
A struggling school is defined as one that earned a performance rating of D or an F for the last 3 school years. Mostly sunny today with a high temp near 95 degrees. Right now it's 78. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
CADA provides high-quality, affordable addiction treatment.
.35, it's 101.7 FM 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin, do me a favor. Reread. Is that like an LN story? Is that your Carmody story?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Is that Louisiana Network?
Mm-hmm.
Read that again. I'm not sure I agree 100%. You know how I parse things. You know I just dissect the way stories are written.
Right. Let me see if I can get to it.
I think it's a little, I don't want to say misleading. I just think it's a little misleading.
Shreveport Representative Thomas Carmody has no plan to bring back a bill seeking to protect Confederate monuments.
Yeah, that was the part.
Okay.
Knowing me the way you do, what in that sentence would get me to go, hold on?
The protect Confederate monuments? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll explain. I have said from day one, look, we all have our opinions on the monuments, their historic value, their historic meaning, whatever. But what I've said all along is I think every town gets to decide. Everybody should decide what they want to do. There's an Andy Griffith episode. Mayberry had a Civil War cannon. If Mayberry wants to get rid of their Civil War cannon because some Mayberry citizens find it offensive, then that's Mayberry's right.
Yep.
If Caddo Parish or Shreveport or whomever says, we've rethought that monument, maybe it should go. Just like if city down the road wants to keep theirs, wants to plant flowers around it. Everybody should get to do what they want to do. What Thomas Carmody's, he wasn't in the strictest sense protecting the monuments. He was saying let the people decide what they want to do with the
monuments. Let a public vote, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's protecting. It's not like Thomas was out there arm in arm with the Nazis, but that...
Boy, you shouldn't have said that. People are going to hear you say Thomas Carmody was arm in arm with the... That's not what he said. You know how we get twisted.
That's how that's being phrased.
I know.
Oh, that white supremacist Thomas Carmody wants to protect those monuments. Just look, you got called a white supremacist on Friday.
I know.
Because you used the word colored in a news story.
And it had nothing to do with someone's race.
As a verb.
Yes. He colored the outcome. That's how
and I
didn't even write it.
But that's where we are
But I
right
put it in there on purpose as a trigger word. Whatever. Like I said Friday.
But that's where we are right now. That if you don't think that every Confederate monument should be torn down and torched and urinated on, sorry, I went Durham on everybody.
Oh, boy.
That makes you a white supremacist. That makes you a Nazi. That's how you and everybody who doesn't think like Antifa is being framed.
God bless America.
So really, all
Where
Thomas.
are we going, Robert? What is going to be the end of this nonsense?
Okay, it's 7:39. We'll talk about this later, but we'll touch on it. You said something very interesting yesterday. You said to me yesterday, and I went, wow. I said, you know what this is all about, don't you, with the Antifa people? And you said, it's about Trump. It's about getting Trump out of office. It's about discrediting Trump and everybody. And I said, yeah, but what is it that's bigger than that? What's bigger than Trump? If you want to destroy Donald Trump, Donald Trump's small potatoes. What's bigger than Donald Trump?
Bigger than Donald Trump?
The USA is bigger than Donald Trump.
Yeah, of course.
Our government is bigger than Donald Trump. Our history, our Constitution, our founding fathers, the things that have made our system of freedom and of government, or better yet, or lack of government, that have made us great. That's what's bigger than Donald Trump. And that, just think of the Constitution, and in the minds of Antifa and those leftists, just put a target on it. 739, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update right now.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Hearn Avenue near Milam Street. And we have some traffic delays at the intersection of Shed Road and Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Good morning, 742. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. The Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. Lots going on downtown at City Hall and the Shreveport City Council. Council Chairman James Fleury is here. Hey, Mr. James, how are you today?
Good morning. Good morning.
I guess my first question would be, as more details come to light about the mayor's plan for this new downtown arena, and now the price tag on it is $100 million, and the people of Shreveport would float around 30. I guess my number one question is, who's got $70 million to give to the city of Shreveport?
Well, they're going to be there today. You're going to get to find out who that is. Corporate Realty has done something similar to this in Birmingham, and so they're supposed to be the experts, and I look forward to listening to see what they have to say.
Is this a consulting firm? Are we going to get involved with a lot of consulting firms and lawyers and legal stuff that's going to jack the cost up, possibly above $100 million?
No, I think this is a real developer that has done this before. Is what I know who they are.
Is it the same group that developed the Providence subdivision in South Shreveport? Is that still the group that's working on it?
I'm not familiar with that. I can't answer that because I'm not familiar with that. All I know is they have developed this in Birmingham, in Alabama, and they're very successful, and that's apparently how they came about.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Flory. This development, it's not just going to be the sports arena. This is going to include lots more. Also, could be living quarters. I mean, like townhouses, some other things, right?
It's going to be some shopping centers. You travel by boat up into the river to 12 Mile and go to this facility by boat if you'd like. As I appreciate what has been explained to me about it, what little bit I know about it.
The city's portion is 25 to 30 million. Would be a bond issue? Is that what you're anticipating the mayor to ask you for?
Yeah, and here's the deal. I believe the mayor has the votes today to pass it to the next step. Then she'll have 2 weeks to September 12th to sell her plan to the citizens of Shreveport. Right now, my phone is ringing off the wall, and I have not had anyone, not one, to tell me, please vote for this. This is a good deal. So she's got a heck of a sales job.
So basically, Mr. James,
to the citizens.
Pardon me, what you're telling me is if Miss Ollie is the sales manager of this, you're not exactly going to be her sales buddy.
Well, I'm just saying right now, I want to, before I commit, I want to listen today. I would be foolish to say anything different. But I'm just telling you that the citizens that I represent, my bosses, the people that put me where I'm at to come downtown, are very unhappy about it, and they have been very vocal to me about it. And,
now,
so I'll leave it at that.
As you have spoken to the other members of the council, have they given you an inclination and insight into what phone calls, what feedback from their constituents is?
Well, they did share yesterday that we apparently have been getting same emails from different individuals. They've been sending them to all of us, but my personal experience has been I've heard from District East, the district that I represent south of the downtown area, which is called Southern Hills.
Councilman Fleury, let me ask you this. This is a bond issue, so we vote on it. How soon could it get on the ballot?
Erin, are you absolutely sure that you're going to get to vote on that?
I'm hoping. Wouldn't we get to vote on a bond issue?
Mr.
Honey,
James,
I think you're going to. I think now, if I'm wrong, you straighten me out. But I'm going to tell you, that's not going to be a vote. That's a loan. That's not a capital item. I believe you're going to find that it's not going to be voted on by the people. Now, that's me talking. And if I'm wrong, I'll be man enough to stand up and say I gave you some bad information.
So she's not going to take this to the public.
No, I don't think you're going to. Hey, don't you remember the convention center, Keith Hightower mayor? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you vote on that?
No. Would you
No,
encourage
you
her
did
to do that? Would you encourage her? Let's let the public decide.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I'm just telling you got 2 weeks to do a sales pitch to the citizens of Shreveport that this is a good idea. You got to remember, who is this group that that they contacted her? They sought out the city for this RFP, and this is the same people, the Bensons, who I'm a Saints fan and everything. But if you remember back in Kathleen Blanco's term as governor and Bobby Jindal, they said, "Hey, we're going to move the Saints to San Antonio," and they loaded up a truckload of money and went to New Orleans and gave it to them. Please don't leave, stay. What will it take? And they took a shovel after shovel full of money, and so they know how to get the best deal. We just got to be smarter, and if we're going to do this thing, we better do some real good, smart wheeling and dealing.
Mr. James, you intimated, maybe it was more than an intimation a couple of seconds ago, that in your mind there are enough council votes right now to go to the next step. Would it
I do
be?
believe that that's just the 2.5 years experience on the council. No one's told me, but I'm just kind of feeling it out, and I believe she's got the votes to pass to the next.
Are you a no vote?
I'm not ready to say whether I'm a yes or no.
Would it
I'm
be
gonna
presumptuous?
I'm going to listen today, but I'm also going to listen to the people that I represent.
Would it be presumptuous of me, therefore, to say there are more city council people that have to be talked out of this arena than have to be talked into this arena?
Right. I would agree with that.
Oh, we've got a poll at KEELnews.com. You want to hear what it says so far?
I do. Please.
91% say HE double hockey sticks no, and about 8.9% say yes, go with it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not looking good.
But it doesn't. But I'm just saying today is just a vote of the to discuss it and debate it, and then the final vote be September the 12th. And so I think this is a lot of people are wanting to say, well, let's just give it some time to discuss and debate. But I made that mistake one time before. I said the same thing about the $12 trash fee. I thought it was a good idea to move it forward to debate it. But everybody takes that as that you're for it. They don't understand that you're just wanting to debate it, that the final vote hadn't been taken. And so that I learned from that lesson real hard. That's being new to the council. Sometimes you got to nip it in the bud right now.
We need a roof on the convention center. $10 million. We have so many other needs in the city. There's people screaming at the radios right now that how are we even considering this with our infrastructure problems? Is that at the top of your list too? Is that what you're hearing when you pick up your phone?
Exactly. I've got a street in my district. Although the mayor has done a lot of streets since she's been there, 122 or something, and she's done a lot. But I've got streets in my district that hadn't been overlaid in 40 years. They're what I call secondary streets in neighborhoods. And how do I explain to people that I'm going to vote for something like this, and when I haven't worked on infrastructure? I mean, if we're going to do a bond issue, we ought to be doing one to do all of our streets. That's what we told people, that we were going to try to fix the infrastructure.
And top priorities, what everybody's talking about is infrastructure, that's for sure.
I'll tell you one other thing we got. We got fire trucks that are in terrible shape, that should have been replaced and upgraded, but we don't have the money. And they're expensive. They're about $1 million a pop.
Wow.
And we're Class 1 fire department, and we want to keep it like that.
Well, evidently somebody's willing to put up the money, buy a 75 of them. Like I said, we'll find out today who that $75 million donor or donors are, right?
Yeah, they'll be there today, so we'll get it. It'll all be laid out, and I got to have an open mind, listen, and then we'll make the vote and either move it forward or it'll die.
Okay. James Flurry, Council Chairman, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you all. Bye-bye.
749, it's 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update coming up right now. Ruben on KEEL.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Hearn Avenue near Milam Street. And we have some traffic delays at the intersection of Shed Road and Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
It is 7 away from 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's our boy, Timmy.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler will present a plan to build a $100 million multi-purpose mixed-use complex at today's City Council meeting. The plan indicates construction to take place along the Cross Bayou Corridor on the northern side of the downtown area. Mayor Tyler is expected to ask the council for approval of up to $30 million toward the project, with private financing providing the remainder of the funding. Shreveport is also one of 2 finalists for the New Orleans Pelicans minor league team, along with Pensacola. Down to the wire they go, I guess. The Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. Adrian Beltre clobbered a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning to fuel the offense. Texas is 2 games out of the wild card with 38 games remaining. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Woo!
Okay,
Oh, the mic's on?
Mine was off the air.
I did get a text from other city council members. My phone's blowing up today. It'd be revenue bonds. It wouldn't be a public vote. I say let us vote. If this is so important for our city, let us vote.
You mean like a Confederate monument?
Let's do a vote.
Uh-huh.
If it's so important.
I have, for the last hour, been carrying on a conversation via text with someone who will remain anonymous.
Okay.
But it is a fascinating conversation about the history of the Cross Bayou area, things that have been suggested, development ideas that have been previously attempted. And I'm going to text them in a moment and say, may I read our conversation if your anonymity remains intact.
Right.
756, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. And Mr. Carmody's joining us at 8:10.
Yes, Thomas Carmody will join us at 8:10.
Right now, Sean Hannity live on Keel.
On the right side, this is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Interesting note on CNN. They changed the headline of a story on the Antifa movement after members of the group apparently complained. Daily Caller reporting that CNN originally published the article under the headline, Unmasking the Leftist Antifa Movement. Activists seek peace through violence. Now, the fake news network then changed the headline to Unmasking the Leftist Antifa Movement after Antifa members complained. CNN wrote, editor's note, the story has been updated to clarify the counter-protesters, and they say they are not to blame for the violence at the Charlottesville protest. The story's headline has also been updated. Now, despite CNN changing the headline, the violence depicted by Antifa remained in the article. One activist describing how he pulled guns on, quote, fascists, smoke-bombed areas, and had been arrested several times during various protests. Jeff Zucker, good luck with the new merger.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
If you've got a 401k, IRA, or pension plan, I've got some bad news for you. This is Brett Kitchen, and the IRS wants you to think these qualified plans are the best way to save for retirement. They give you a tax break when you contribute. Sounds good, right? Wrong. A qualified plan could be a tax disaster when you retire. With $18 trillion in debt, taxes are already going up. Imagine paying a top tax rate of over 90% like the 1960s. There's a better way. It's an alternative the ultra-rich use that beats the pants off your IRA or 401k. It's been around for years. Your money grows tax-deferred deferred, has no taxes in retirement and no income taxes when you die. Plus, you can grow your money potential double digits with no risk of losing money when the market crashes. If the market tanks like 2008, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now at 800-908-1616 to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, to protect yourself from taxes and crashes. No credit card required. Call 800-908-1616. That's 800-908-1616. 1-800-908-1616.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. And thanks to Jack Spring Electric, we have the new Shockbuster button. If Erin says something crazy,
I'd kiss a stranger for a ribeye.
it's our 7-second delay, just in case. It's the Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button on 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
Confederate Monument Talk is coming up, 7:59, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Fox News in just a couple of seconds. Right now, the latest from Rapid Reuben.
Intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly sunny today, seasonably hot with a high of 95 degrees, patchy clouds, and a low of 76 for tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
3 past 8 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Erin has local news, and it's up next.
We're going to be talking a little bit more about the O-Dome. Also, the eclipse is coming up, and tragedy involving some young kids.
Need to trademark that and sell some T-shirts.
You do?
Let's see. You need to go to the Keel Facebook page and look at Erin's eclipse glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else we do this hour matters.
Yeah.
Plus Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather, all coming up this hour, and it's here on Keel.
Hey. Thousands of local residents came out to check out the solar eclipse. One hotspot was the Broadmoor Library. Branch manager Jennifer French tells Keel News the viewing glasses were a hot commodity.
When we first got the glasses about a month ago, we really didn't think it was going to be this big. And just after the first day of announcing that we had them, we realized everybody in town was going to come here.
University Elementary broke a Guinness World Record by hosting the largest astronomy lesson ever. 1,334 students, staff, and parents covered the school grounds to watch and learn about the eclipse. The previous record was 1,109 people. More details have been released about Mayor Ollie Tyler's proposed sports complex for Cross Bayou. The project now totals about $100 million. The mayor wants to build a mixed-use development. She wants to get private investors in for about $75 million of that. She's presenting her plan to the city council now. The primary purpose for the facility would be to house the G League farm team of the New Orleans Pelicans. The whole deal hinges on Shreveport landing that team. Shreveport hopes to prevent future tragedies. Matt Parker explains.
Following the drowning death of 7-year-old Deshaun Combus, the city of Shreveport is working hard to prevent another tragedy. The Property Standards Committee is discussing ways to make the city's drainage system safer. Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch says that the city needs to make some structural changes and that citizens need to be better educated. From 1017 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Minden man charged with kidnapping. Keyshawn Wilson arrested for allegedly kidnapping a 2.5-month-old infant. Police say Wilson was staying with the family of the child in Minden. According to reports, the baby was crying in the middle of the night, and officers believe that's what prompted Wilson to take the child. He left the infant underneath the Sibley exit bridge and then allegedly confessed his crime to a homeless man. Wilson's been charged with aggravated kidnapping. The child was found unharmed. Michael Tyler, best known as rapper Mystical, turns himself in to Shreveport police. Sergeant Paula Farquhar with SPD says Tyler, along with a 26-year-old Texas man, have been charged with first-degree rape. She says an investigation was launched into a sexual assault last year.
People that were with the victim notified the police at the time, back in October of 2016.
A 7-year-old boy won't face legal charges for shooting his aunt twice. According to Webster Sheriff Gary Sexton, the boy was mad his aunt didn't feed him. Sexton says the child grabbed a rifle, loaded it, and shot Amanda Gibson twice in the side. Gibson is expected to recover Sexton says while the incident was not an accident, the law states a child of his age cannot form intent and cannot be charged with a crime. Shreveport Representative Thomas Carmody has no plan to bring back a bill seeking to protect Confederate monuments as the controversial statues are coming down across the South. Carmody says legislation is no longer necessary.
Because the rule of law will basically be ineffective for any of it. It'll all be down.
The firing of a high school principal who used a wooden dowel to break up a fight between students has been reversed by a Louisiana judge. The Advocate reports the ruling ordered the reinstatement of a principal at Scotlandville High who was fired 2 years ago. Lots of sunshine, hot today, 95 for the high, right now 76. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic, Ruben's here.
Intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app is an awesome-sounding app. It's an awesome-sounding app, and it's a free download from Office Furniture Source. State Representative Thomas Carmody is here for a few minutes. Hey, Mr. Thomas, how have you been?
I'm fine.
When
Robert, I do have to ask you, you did graduate from Jesuit like I did, didn't you?
Indeed so, sir, indeed.
I think that the teachers that taught you would be very impressed that you know how to read and interpret, because your take on the head as well as Erin's repeating the headline is misleading.
So you thought when the Louisiana Radio Network described your wanting individual municipalities and or people to vote for themselves on the Confederate monument issue, when they describe you as protecting the monuments, you think that's misleading, as did I.
Well, because just like the proposition that Councilman Fleury was talking about. Think of the struggle to allow people and to grant people the franchise to vote. And think of the fact that how many people were denied the opportunity to participate in the governmental process, which is our democracy. And yet today what you're hearing from people is people don't need to vote because we'll decide. And as I told the gentleman that called me yesterday from USA Network, there are some people that appear to just want to do this thing. The way that it's written, it sounds like everybody wants to do. I can tell you right now, my phone's blown up this morning with people saying, wait a minute, we want the right to vote on these things in our public spaces in Caddo Parish. And as I told them, I said, you need to contact your Caddo Parish commissioners. I will ask KEEL this morning for them to put a poll up there so that at least the commissioners have the input of the public as to whether or not they would like the opportunity to vote.
I will be happy to do that. Your bill, Thomas, simply said, let the communities vote, correct?
Correct.
It didn't say protect the monuments.
No, ma'am, it did not.
Okay. And you're
It allowed for the public to decide what they would and would not permit to remain in their public spaces.
Well, why not bring the bill back?
Some people felt like that was un-American of me to do that. I thought that, again, quite ironic.
Why not bring that bill back? Why are you kind of saying, no, I'm not going to do it again?
Well, because what I've been told, as I say, is that at this point, those persons that were going to advocate to allow the public to participate in it will do so, elected officials. Those that feel like that the elected officials have all the say in the world and should therefore decide for the public, then I guess that's what they will do.
Thomas, do you feel like across the country right now, Erin and I have talked about this a bunch of times, do you feel right now that the way that the national zeitgeist, the national culture, or at least the culture that is being expressed by the media is that
divisive? Divisive?
That too.
Yes.
But if you,
I went to Jesuit too. That's the way I read it. Rob.
But if you think that individual communities should decide for themselves, that makes you, in the eyes of the leftist media, a Nazi sympathizer and a white supremacist, right?
I've been called many things since I've been in public office, and I think the one that I liked the most was Councilman Commodity, because as I told the gentleman, from now on, when you address me, please address me as Precious.
Oh, man. Oh, man. When's this going to end, Thomas? When is this whole it's getting worse. You and I mean, I've never noticed.
Can I ask y'all this?
Please.
There are an awful lot of other things that are part of the woven fabric of American history that people say are distasteful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep pulling threads.
Oh, my. We got to change the name of streets next, don't we?
I think that Uri Drive could very well be something else before we know it.
Well, actually, and I had made this point to Lloyd Thompson, the NAACP guy, when about
a friend of mine.
When a year or a year and a half ago, the first controversy, when the first time this topic about the monument downtown, Caddo Parish, started to come up. And I said, there's two streets downtown, Travis and Fannin Streets. Alamo heroes both.
Do not mention that.
But they were both slave owners, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
You're spreading the gospel.
Thomas Jefferson,
Whoa.
Who's on our dollar bills? I saw Andrew Jackson on our money.
There are people writing these names down as you repeat them. So
look at all your coins in your pocket there, Thomas.
Let's get, as we wrap this up, Mr. Thomas, to something pretty damn serious. And what I said to Erin in wrapping up last hour, I said at the end of the day, what this is all really, really, really about is taking the Constitution of the United States and putting a great big target on it. Do you agree?
You don't think that Antifa wants to make sure that all of us have a voice as American citizens in the way that the country goes forward?
I would tend to think not 100%.
I think that, again, you're going to get an A for observation. These people have an agenda. It is not one that is friendly. It is not one that is anything but divisive. And when those persons stand up and say, wow, this looks divisive, you get painted with a big, broad brush.
State Representative Thomas Carmody.
Y'all have a blessed day. God bless you.
Yeah, you too. Check that money in your wallet now. Take care, Thomas. Oh, man.
19 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update in just a couple of seconds. And then Fletcher in sports. Nineteen past 8. Keel traffic. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue and Piermont Road. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you know something we don't, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly sunny today, seasonably hot with a high of 95 degrees, patchy clouds, and a low of 76 for tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Twenty past 8. Time for sports. Fletcher on Keel.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler will present a plan to build a $100 million multi-purpose mixed-use complex at today's City Council meeting. The plan indicates construction to take place along the Cross Bayou Corridor on the northern side of the downtown area. Mayor Tyler is expected to ask the council for approval of up to $30 million toward the project, with private financing providing the remainder of the funding. Shreveport is also one of 2 finalists for the New Orleans Pelicans minor league team, along with Pensacola. Down to the wire they go, I guess. The Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. Adrian Beltre clobbered a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning to fuel the offense. Texas is 2 games out of the wild card with 38 games remaining. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Good morning, 22 past 8. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. So down at your end of the gopher-shaped broadcast table. Well, let's start from the beginning, because there's people who aren't listening. We'll do Eclipse later, okay?
I'm with you. I'm just
You
getting
look
them on
like some crazed, drunken
Makes me feel
baseball.
sexy.
Look like a crazed, drunken baseball infielder.
Yeah, it makes me feel good.
Glasses up, glasses down.
I have gotten some interesting texts from some Shreveport City Council members.
Start back
wow.
at the. Now, hang on a second. Not that
Man.
we're not going to get to those, because I've gotten some interesting ones also.
Man.
But for those of you who are just joining us this lovely summer morning, Mayor Tyler made her pitch to the Shreveport City Council yesterday about the $100 million proposed $100 million arena.
O-Dome, we're calling it.
The O-Dome, the Ollie Dome.
Trademark that.
In, make some T-shirts, in the Cross Bayou area. So, when we talked to Councilman Fleury earlier this hour, or last hour, he was of a mind that Miss Ollie has the votes right now for it to at least go to the next step, for it to be approved by a majority of the 7 council people.
Yep. Now, it would be the public money would be revenue bonds that the city would be borrowing the money. We would not vote on that. That's a revenue bond package.
Okay, and that's supposed to be about $30 million.
Yeah.
So hold on, let me find the Roy Lang text from last night. I apologize, the Roy Lang post, because this is pretty awesome. It will take me just a minute.
Well, I got this from a city council member. So
go ahead.
It says, I will tell you that there is majority support on the council for this. I'm like, wow. Unbelievable. They're going to have much more to say after the presentation, which is this afternoon at 3 o'clock.
Here's Roy Lang last night, pardon me. Whether it happens or not, today's, meaning yesterday, whether it happens or not, today's news about the sports complex plan should make most folks feel better. We have people who are willing to invest $75 million of their own money in Shreveport. That's incredible. That's $75 million more than most of you expected.
Yep.
He's got a point.
If we've got somebody with the money in hand, let's,
According to Miss Ollie, somebody's out there willing to toss in $70 to $75 million above whatever bond issue that they float.
And let me say this, because I've been listening to politicians talk about developing Cross Bayou
for 20 years.
20 plus years.
Yeah.
Cross Bayou property, if you're not familiar with it, is gorgeous. It's on the riverfront. It would be the one place in Shreveport, if they built a residential development up there, like some townhouses,
But nobody wants-
I would move there.
But no, who
if
wants-
I can view the river from my balcony,
maybe.
I am there.
But the problem with that is it's like those really beautiful homes over there by Captain Shreve Stadium that nobody wants to live a block from a football stadium that's being used 3 or 4 nights a week.
I wouldn't care if the O-Dome is in use. If I've got a beautiful townhome overlooking the river, then they've got to have a few things for me. I've got to have a grocery store and a few other things.
You're assuming this is going to be residential as opposed to commercial.
The long proposal's been there's going to be some residential component to this. That's been the long proposed development.
An ongoing text with another local politico that I have been having since just after 7 o'clock this morning, who requests anonymity.
Okay.
Who suggested, he texts, who suggested in...
Or she.
No, it's a he. Who suggested in 1995 that an arena on the bayou with a hotel and convention center would be a good idea for downtown redevelopment? It was planned by dedicating riverboat money rather than taxes in Lafayette. They call that the Cajun Dome. I text back, what do you think about this? The response, I applaud her efforts to move forward, but don't think there's enough entertainment business with CenturyLink and a new management at Hirsch. CenturyLink, here's where it gets interesting. CenturyLink will always be the preferred location. You can't recreate a lost opportunity. My response, but hasn't SMG made it a point to take themselves out of that market? Don't get me wrong, we're talking a max of 31 basketball games. That's a lot of nights the lights are off. Politico, anonymous Politico responds.
OP.
That leaves 330 dark nights to fill to be viable. There are still 2 competing facilities. I'm an opportunity person, not a downer. Opportunity is only as rare as the ability to recognize it. But sometimes you have to take the bull by the tail to anticipate the situation. My response, so who has $70 million to give to the city? Now we get a little tongue-in-cheek response. I don't know. Maybe Bernie Gleiberman.
Whoa.
Back to serious. This must be explained so the taxpayers don't get screwed. Gleiberman was only a $3 million Hazelbeard commitment. That's basically
Okay.
it.
This, another text from another member of the city council, a different one, says people will have to bring a lot of pressure on their council member because the deals are being cut now. And as you know from Elio, once money gets involved, it's hard for some politicians to think objectively.
Well, you tell me, do you think it's past the point of councilman listening? What Mr. Fleury said, she's got the votes to go to step 2. What Mr. Fleury said is more Shreveport City Council people right now, according to James Fleury.
Mm-hmm.
More city council people have to be talked out of it than to be talked into it.
Their phones are ringing off the hook. I know that, and you're going to have to keep calling them. Our poll at KEELnews.com says 91% of folks who've taken our poll are against this.
A lot of things you could do in this city with $75 million.
But I like being able to live on the riverfront. I think that's cool.
29 past 8 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic time, local news. Erin standing by right now. Here's Rapid Ruben.
Erie Drive and East Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now due to construction, and we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound starting at Spring and Market. It's backed up past Benton Road right now. If you have anything to report to us, please let us know at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Mayor Ollie Tyler has unveiled details of her proposed $100 million sports complex she wants to build at Cross Bayou. She submitted the plan to the NBA Pelicans several weeks ago. The mayor wants to push for a $30 million bond issue. The rest of the money would come from private partners. Shreveport's one of 2 finalists for the G League farm team of the Pelicans. Thousands of local residents ventured outside to take a peek at the solar eclipse. Hundreds were at the Broadmoor Library.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Yeah, it's cool.
University Elementary broke a Guinness World Record by hosting the largest astronomy lesson ever. 1,334 students, staff, and parents covered the school grounds to watch and learn about the eclipse. The previous record was 1,109 people. Following the drowning death of 7-year-old Deshaun Combest, the city of Shreveport's working hard to prevent another tragedy. The Property Standards Committee is discussing ways to make the city's drainage system safer. Councilwoman Stephanie Lynch says the city needs to make some structural changes and that citizens need to be better educated. Child shoots his aunt over food. Matt Parker with that.
A 7-year-old boy will not face legal charges for shooting his aunt twice on Friday. According to Webster Parish Sheriff Gary Sexton, the boy was mad his aunt didn't feed him. Sexton says the child grabbed a rifle, loaded it, and shot Amanda Gibson twice in the side. Gibson is expected to make a full recovery. Sexton says that while the incident wasn't an accident, the law states a child of his age can't form intent and can't be charged with a crime. From 1017 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
A Minden man charged with kidnapping, Keyshawn Wilson, arrested for allegedly kidnapping a 2.5-month-old infant. Police say Wilson was staying with the family of the child in Minden. According to reports, the baby was crying in the middle of the night, and officers believe that's what prompted Wilson to take the child. Wilson left the infant underneath the Sibley exit bridge and then allegedly confessed his crime to a homeless man. He's been charged with aggravated kidnapping. Authorities say 33 people have been hurt in a train crash at a station in suburban Philadelphia. Spokeswoman for the Southeastern Penn Transit Authority says it happened around 12:15 this morning. Heather Redfern says an inbound Norristown high-speed line crashed into an unoccupied parked train. President Donald Trump declaring that U.S. troops will fight to win the long war in Afghanistan. He pointedly declined to disclose how many more U.S. troops will be sent. An announcement could come as early as today on who will be the Tigers' starting quarterback for the season opener against BYU. Senior Danny Etling is expected to get the nod, but offensive coordinator Matt Canada likes what he's seen from freshman Miles Brennan.
We want to spread the ball around between our wide receivers, our tight ends, and our running backs equally. We have some running backs that can catch the ball, and as a defensive coach, I know that when you have some running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield, it's another dimension that you have to defend. So we want to be able to do that, and we are doing it.
The Tigers open the season against Brigham Young on September 2nd in Houston. Lots of sunshine today with the high temp 95 degrees, right now 77. I'm Erin McCarty from 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
I see you pointing frantically what?
Sheriff Gary Sexton's joining us at about 8:40.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin, it's 8:35. Although you and I have argued about this all morning, I think the final number for University Elementary for their Guinness record was like 2 over the record.
Yeah, they made it.
Yeah.
That was the student numbers. They also had parents and all that.
A new record for
that's so cool.
like students watching the eclipse yesterday.
No, it was an astronomy class. That's the record.
An astronomy class with 1,100 people?
Exactly.
Wow, must be an elective.
Mm-hmm. I had a great time. I was at the Broadmoor Library, and there were, a few hundred folks there, and we were just kind of sharing the glasses.
Pardon me
and
just
I don't get why I can't see through these.
Pardon me just a second. Who's the camera on?
Who do you think?
I can't understand why I can't see. I can see nothing through these right now. I can't see my microphone.
You can't see this?
I can't see my computer.
Let's go for a drive.
I can't see whatever Matt's doing.
Yeah.
Is he holding up a finger?
2 of them, actually. But
well, now. So what was the high point of your eclipse day yesterday?
You know, for me, it was, well, of course, the moon pies were good. Thanks for handing those out. That was a nice touch. The little kids, when they put these glasses on and they would look up and they would realize that's the moon covering the sun. And they would take the glass and they would look at their moms and they would be like, that is so cool.
Seriously?
And they would make those noises.
Yeah.
And so many, you know what I heard most of anything? Are you ready? I'll back off the microphone. Oh, wow. Ooh. Oh, my. Oh, wow. I heard that a lot.
Really?
A lot.
You know what the thing that and if you have your eclipse glasses,
yeah,
like you do,
doesn't it make me look sexy?
I could not think of a better word. Well, actually, I can. Put the camera back on her.
Oh, they never left.
The amazing thing, one of the amazing things about this is that there's another eclipse in 2024.
I need to save them all.
The first week of April of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be near, if not in, that tunnel of totality.
We're the tots.
We could
the
be,
Hottentots.
it could be like yesterday was what, 78%.
Mm-hmm.
We could be in the 100 to 98, 99% of the sun covered by the moon area.
I got 2 guest rooms. I'm already telling you now. I'll rent them out. They're $800 a night. You book them now. They're $800 a night.
Don't wait. Don't
Yeah.
let this
price is going up.
Don't let this opportunity slip away.
Absolutely.
But the amazing thing about that is that there are people who have figured out where the sun and where the earth are going to be 7 years from now.
Yes.
Down to the precise second. And that absolutely amazes me.
Yeah. It's incredible. It really is incredible. How they knew at 1:17 that's when Shreveport was, and that's when you look up, you could tell.
Yeah.
This is the apogee of the.
You don't know what the word apogee
I have
means?
no clue.
Okay, good.
By the way, explain to me why that was a solar eclipse and not a lunar eclipse.
Because it
when
was
it was the moon that got in the way.
Because it was the sun that was blocked. Whatever gets blocked or covered or is darkened is the kind of eclipse it is.
So a lunar eclipse, the moon is blocked by the earth.
Yeah, for example, when I throw that fan at you, it will be an Erin eclipse, not a fan eclipse.
Well, that's all right, because I am the coolest one in the room.
She'll never see it coming.
She looks like Donald Fagen on the Night Fly album cover. It's 8:39, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Erie Drive and East Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now due to construction, and we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Spring and Market, it's backed up past Benton Road right now. If you have anything to report to us, please let us know at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Don't forget, Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. Webster Parish Sheriff Gary Sexton is here. Hey, Mr. Gary, how are you this morning?
Good morning, sir. I'm fine.
This is one of the, well, you tell me, because it just seems to me one of the more unusual situations, circumstances, and cases that you've probably seen in a long time, right?
That's true. You know, I just made a comment to somebody walked in my office the other day. I said, I'm not amazed at anything that happens anymore, but I was certainly amazed at this one. I was shocked by this one.
For anybody that doesn't know, run down the circumstances, the details of the case, and then we can.
Okay.
Then we got a bunch of questions.
Sure. Well, Friday afternoon around 2:30, our officers received a call that there was a shooting up on Dogwood Trail just north of Minden. When our officers arrived up there, we found that a lady in her mid-30s has been shot, and she was shot twice by a 7-year-old child that was living in the household there. The lady told us, the one that had been shot, she told us it was an accident. But, you know, a flag just goes up just right off the bat. I can understand somebody being shot one time and it be an accident, but 2 times. So we conducted an investigation, and we still have an ongoing investigation into it. Hadn't got all the details that we want right now. But anyway, this 7-year-old has had some problems. He has gone through some counseling in the past, is my understanding from the family. He got upset because this lady would not feed him, and that she had some food ordered. Another person was bringing some food to the house, so she was waiting on that to get there, I think, from McDonald's. And he got upset, went to the gun cabinet, retrieved a 22-lever action rifle, loaded it, shot her the first time, and then reloaded it and shot her the second time. And then she told us that it was an accident. So we don't buy that at all, and I don't think anybody else would.
This seems to me on the part of that little kid to be a lot of planning involved, huh?
Well, you know, the Louisiana law says that under the age of 10, you can't form intent. Well, you tell me. He had intent. At 7 years old, he formed intent.
What happens with him now, Sheriff? Well, I mean, you can't charge him, right?
No, ma'am. I talked to the assistant district attorney yesterday about this case. You know, basically all we can do is get social services and child protection involved in this. The family could get involved in this and help with having this child committed or get him some psychiatrical help. But, you know, when the family starts taking up for him and saying, you know, it wasn't intentional, then you're not going to get a lot of help there. So what we're dealing with is I just say it like it is. We're just dealing with a little loose cannon. That's what we're dealing with.
It occurs to and look,
a 7-year-old loose cannon.
And I know this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
incredibly speculative, but if I were a family member of a 7-year-old, a parent or an aunt or an uncle of a 7-year-old who had consciously loaded a weapon and had shot me, it might not be my first reaction to tell the police, yeah, everything's fine, because I might not sleep that well at night. You know what I mean?
I understand exactly.
Now, he was living with the aunt, or has there already been some problems in his home?
There had been problems in the home. I don't know to what extent right there, but my understanding that the aunt was a caretaker of him this particular day, and I'm not sure if she lives there full time. I do know the grandparents responded back to the residents after they were notified, and so that's where we are right now. Our guys are still working the case and still trying to determine what we're going to do. You know, this child needs some help, and certainly he is a child at this point, but he's a child with some problems that, you know, we just can't overlook it.
Mr. Gary, where is the child now? Where is the aunt now? Where is the rest of the family? What's the situation?
Well, the aunt is she has been released from the hospital. She was taken to Minden Medical Center, but we airlifted her over to Shreveport because of the seriousness of her wounds. She has been released from the hospital, is my understanding. The child is in the custody of the parents. I'm sorry, not the parents. The child is in the custody of the grandparents at this time.
The woman's wounds, are they? I mean, is she going to be a full recovery, or can you describe, you know, how serious?
Well, she was shot twice. Once right under the rib cage on the side, and then one just a little lower than that, kind of a downward wound, like she was on the ground and the child was standing up over her when he shot her. That time is our speculation on that part. But they're not life-threatening wounds. It could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But
she lucky to be alive today?
Well, absolutely.
Mr. Gary, pardon me just a second, and maybe
Sure.
I misunderstood what you said, and
Okay.
I hope I did. But did I hear you say that this 7-year-old child fired the second shot while his aunt was already on the ground?
Well, she had been shot the first time. Her position of where she's at is trying to be determined by the investigation right now. But it seems to appear at this time that shot was shot from a different angle, like she could have been laying on the ground.
I know you want to get this message out there for folks who have guns in their home around kids. What do they need to do?
Well, you know, the thing about it is keep your guns put up, keep them locked, keep them secure. This child, with the problems that he's had in the past, certainly it's negligence on the part, and if the family gets upset because I said this, they just get upset. It don't make me any difference. This child shouldn't have had access to a gun.
What's the process now with social services and say over the next 30 days, 6 months? You tell me.
Well, I can't answer for their department. All I can answer for is our department, and we need to see that if we can get some agencies involved with getting this child some help, how much we're going to get from other agencies like social service or child welfare, I'm not sure. But somebody needs to get involved in this because, and I hate to say this, but our hands are kind of tied as far as the way the laws are written, that a 7-year-old can't form intent. So we don't have any right to arrest him or to prosecute him.
How much authority do you have? How much input do you have? How much will social services or anybody else listen to you and the results of your investigation?
Well, I don't think they really have to listen to me at all. I think it's kind of looking through a glass of clear water. They can look at the case itself. I don't have to say anything to them. If they can't realize that they need to get involved in this and get this child some help somewhere, I don't really know what the organization's for.
Sheriff Gary Sexton, we thank you so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am.
849, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Oh, look at traffic. Rapid Ruben is ready.
Erie Drive and East Kings Highway is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now due to construction, and we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound starting at Spring and Market. It's backed up past Benton Road right now. If you have anything to report to us, please let us know at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will be seasonably hot with plenty of sunshine and a high of 95. Tonight will be partly cloudy, low 76. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Right now, 79 degrees, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. It's 850. Here's your money now.
Citizens are educated.
.1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler will present a plan to build a $100 million multi-purpose mixed-use complex at today's City Council meeting. The plan indicates construction to take place along the Cross Bayou Corridor on the northern side of the downtown area. Mayor Tyler is expected to ask the council for approval of up to $30 million toward the project, with private financing providing the remainder of the funding. Shreveport is also one of 2 finalists for the New Orleans Pelicans minor league team, along with Pensacola. Down to the wire they go, I guess. The Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. Adrian Beltrade clobbered a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning to fuel the offense. Texas is 2 games out of the wild card with 38 games remaining. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Hey there, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. And again, we're going to tell you guys about Twin City Appliance, the #1 major appliance repair folks anywhere in the Arklatex.
And if your washing machine or microwave got damaged in the solar eclipse, Twin City Appliance can even fix that.
I was stunned to see how much eclipse damage there is across the Arklatex.
It is widespread.
It's almost the equivalent of one of those kind of attacks that what's it called? The negative ion.
Oh, yeah, EMP attacks?
Oh, my God, nobody wants to be through one of those.
Yes, well, if you've gotten that and it's got your stuff on the blink, Twin City Appliance can fix it.
You're on your own, kid.
Give them a call today, 318-688-0253, or check them out online, twincityappliance.com.
Don't let those burns on your stovetop from the eclipse keep you from making an excellent dinner for your family, no matter your gender. Twin City Appliance, online, twincityappliance.com. And I am 100% serious. 1017 FM 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. That will bother me all day.
What?
Where you had this brilliant freaking idea for Twin City Appliance to talk about eclipse damage, which was genius. And then I was going to say, yes, it's worse than an electromagnetic pulse attack. But when I went to say EMP, electromagnetic, I just went blank.
That happens to me all the time.
And it slowed the momentum of your brilliant Twin City Appliance live commercial. And she said, "Oh, the eclipse damage. It's so widespread." And don't be surprised if that ends up on the crayfish later this week.
Oh, you're right.
Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Kim Commando.
Roll.
That's Epson.com/EcoTech.
What are you talking about?
Epson, exceed your vision.
Y'all are such goobers.
Moving traffic on St. Vincent Avenue and Hollywood Avenue. And we have reports of a major accident on Berktoon's Industrial Loop and Linwood Avenue. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly sunny today, seasonably hot with a high of 95 degrees, patchy clouds, and a low of 76 for tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.